Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, let's dive into what might be one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing rumors circulating in the NFL right now, especially for us Bears fans. You've probably heard some whispers, maybe even read some reports, but today, we're going to break down everything about this potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the NFC North and set Chicago on a new path toward postseason glory. Sources close to the league, including respected insiders like Adam Schefter, have floated the idea that the Kansas City Chiefs are considering making a bold move. And folks, this isn't just any ordinary trade rumor. The Chiefs, after a strong start to the 2025 season, sitting at an impressive 6-1, are eyeing the future and they might be ready to shake things up. The player in the spotlight? Trent McDuffie, a young all-pro cornerback who's just entering his prime. It's being reported that Kansas City might be willing to trade McDuffie in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. And the reason? Well, it's all about their current roster needs, cap space, and recalibrating for the future. You see, the Chiefs are in a position where they've got about $20 million in cap space right now, but making this move could free up an extra $9 million, which is huge for a team that's already invested heavily in their star quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. After extending Mahomes with that massive $60 million per year deal, Kansas City is now looking at how to best balance their roster, especially on the defensive front. They're in need of youth and talent along the defensive line, considering their focus on rebuilding and maintaining their competitive edge. And that's where Trent McDuffie comes into play. This 25-year-old cornerback, drafted in the first round in 2022, has quickly established himself as one of the league's brightest young defensive backs. McDuffie isn't just any rookie, he's an all-around elite defender. His stats tell the story: 5 interceptions, 28 pass defenses, and 142 tackles so far in his career. His PFF grade stands at an impressive 82. 3, placing him among the top 10 cornerbacks in the league. And his EPA per target, an eye-popping -0. 22, showing how effective he is in limiting opposing offenses. In 2025, he's been solid with 24 solo tackles, 1 interception, and 6 pass defenses. His coverage stats are especially noteworthy, allowing just over half of the passes thrown his way to be completed, and he boasts a hurried rate of about 8%. Plus, he's been completely healthy, with no injuries after battling a groin issue last year. Versatility? Absolutely. McDuffie can cover in the slot or on the outside, and his overall PFF grade of 74. 7 ranks him around the 13th best among cornerbacks. His run defense and coverage metrics are both high, at 78.5 and 73.7 respectively, making him a versatile, reliable piece on any defense. Now let's put this in perspective. McDuffie's style and production are comparable to some of the league's best. Think Jair Alexander in 2023. His ability to lock down receivers and his agility in coverage make him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Kansas City, with their current defensive struggles, allowing about 7 2 yards per pass attempt and 4 1 yards per carry, see McDuffie as a piece to bolster their secondary. They're trying to shore up a unit that, while still strong, could use some fresh young talent to maintain their championship aspirations. But why would Kansas City trade such a promising player? Well, the reasoning is tied to their roster priorities. The Chiefs are heavily invested in their offensive line. After all, Patrick Mahomes is their franchise, and they want to keep him protected. With their recent extension that's paying him around $60 million annually, cap space becomes a real concern. McDuffie's salary in 2026 is projected at around $12 million, which, in the grand scheme, is a lot of cap space dedicated to a single player. That money could be better allocated to veteran players like Humphrey and Queen, who need new contracts, or to add depth along the defensive line where they're lacking. And there's some skepticism around this move, too. Without McDuffie's versatility, Kansas City's coverage efficiency could drop by about 18% EPA, exposing them even more to the league's best passing offenses. Their run defense might suffer, too, considering the drop-off in their secondary's ability to clamp down and support the run stop. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay dividends if they get the draft capital and cap flexibility they desire. Now, let's shift our focus to the Bears. Chicago, currently sitting at a respectable 4-3 record in 2025, has been quietly building something special. Their defense, while not elite overall, has some bright spots, particularly their pass rush, which is among the best in the league with 22 sacks so far. That's a huge advantage, especially when complemented by the presence of Johnson, who has already secured 4 interceptions this season. That duo has been instrumental in keeping the Bears competitive, especially in close games. Enter Trent McDuffie, a player whose addition could elevate this defense to a new level. You see, the Bears have been exposed in the secondary at times, especially during injuries to key players like Gordon and Stevenson. With Gordon on injured reserve due to a groin injury and Stevenson dealing with a shoulder issue, their secondary has been tested. McDuffie, with his ability to neutralize aerial attacks, could be the perfect solution. His presence on the field would likely bring about a minus 14% reduction in EPA per pass, which is huge for a team looking to tighten up against NFC North quarterbacks like Jordan Love. Love, who's been a bright spot for the Packers, has thrown for 400 yards and 17 touchdowns this season, but he's also been prone to some mistakes, something McDuffie's coverage skills could capitalize on. And let's not forget the impact on tackling. McDuffie's tackling rate of 86% is impressive, especially considering his role as a cornerback. Improving the overall tackle rate means fewer missed assignments, fewer big plays allowed, and a more disciplined, aggressive defense. His history of avoiding injuries, thanks to his durability after battling a groin injury last year, suggests he's a reliable player who can be counted on to contribute consistently. This move would make the Bears' secondary a true strength, especially in the playoffs. Imagine a defense that can lock down top receivers like Jefferson, who's averaging 7 yards per pass, and keep offenses from gaining those crucial yards after the catch. McDuffie's ability to shadow and contain would be a game changer. His addition would also help the Bears improve their overall pass defense, which currently allows around 4 points per game, ranking them 20th in the league. That's an area that must be addressed if Chicago hopes to make a serious playoff run. Now that's where things get even more interesting. The Super Bowl odds for the Bears are already pretty long, around plus 5,000, but with this potential acquisition of McDuffie, those odds could improve significantly. Experts are estimating that adding such a versatile and talented corner could bump their chances from plus 5,000 to about plus 2,500. That's a massive leap, especially considering how much of a difference lockdown corners can make in playoff scenarios. Facing teams like the Vikings, with Jefferson, or other NFC contenders, the Bears would have a much better shot at shutting down their top weapons and turning close games into victories. And of course, all of this points to a broader vision for the Bears. This isn't just about winning a few games here and there. It's about establishing a secondary dynasty, much like the legendary Tillman-led units of the past. McDuffie's versatility, his ability to play in multiple roles, and his proven production make him a perfect fit for Chicago's long-term plans. The hope is that he can become a cornerstone of this defense, a sentry who can lock down the best receivers in the NFC North and beyond. In summary, this potential trade is more than just a move. It's a signal that the Bears are serious about competing at the highest level, about building a defense that can carry them deep into the playoffs, and hopefully, to their first Super Bowl appearance since 2006. McDuffie's arrival would inject youth, talent, and versatility into a secondary that's already showing promise. It's a move that echoes the legacy of past Bears legends like Charles Tillman, players who could take away the ball, shut down the best receivers, and lead their teams to glory. So fans, I want you to think about this. If this trade goes through, it could be one of the most pivotal moments in recent Bears history. It could transform the identity of this team, pushing them from a decent squad into a legitimate contender. The NFC North is already shaping up to be a battleground, with the Packers, Lions, and Vikings all vying for supremacy, but Chicago making this move could tip the scales in their favor for years to come. The defense would be a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, and the confidence in this team would skyrocket. It's the kind of move that could set the tone for a new era, one defined by a relentless, lockdown secondary that strikes fear into everyone in the league. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe this trade will happen? How do you see McDuffie fitting into Matt Eberflus's defensive scheme? Are you excited about the prospect of having a cornerback of his caliber on the team? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're on the edge of something exciting, and as always, we're here to bring you the best analysis, the latest rumors, and the inside scoop on your favorite team. Thanks for sticking with us, Bears fans. Let's keep the faith, keep the passion alive, and get ready for what might just be a defining moment in Chicago Bears history.